Greetings from the Philippines to the world. We are on Facebook Live on Eagle News and also on our streaming site, eaglenewslive.com. Watch us on our YouTube channel at Eagle News. I am Cesar Vallejos. Welcome to Open for Business. Join me discover the latest news and information in business around the world. Stay ahead of the curve from vision to action. Post-COVID-19 plans are one of the hottest topics nowadays, but for displaced workers who have been affected by the global pandemic, finding work is a top priority. Today, we will be talking to the COO of an HR recruitment platform tech startup targeting essential industries in need of workers and frontliners. It is also reaching out to displaced workers to help them bounce back. Lizelle Cosgayon, Chief Operating Officer of Haywork, will join us in a while. Stay tuned.
Maliit pa sila, pina-practice ko sila. Hanggang natuto sila.
Alos buong Pilipinas nalibot na namin. Ganun din sa ibang bansa. Ngayon, nakasa kami kasama dito sa kompetisyon ng Tagisan ng Galing. Siyempre, excited kami.
Yung app namin, pakikita namin sa kanabayang nanonood.
Kasama ko po ang aking tatay at ang tawag po sa amin ngayon ay the Father and Daughter Balancing Act.
This program is presented by SMC Infrastructure, building a better world. Vet-approved NutriChunks, the only premium dog food with active boost for optimum energy and probiotics that help strengthen immunity. Just like Catherine Bernardo, gawing listo ganado ang fur babies nyo. Listo ganado sa NutriChunks. Co-presented by Hubert, expert in air conditioning and electromechanical. Also engaged in structural, electrical, fire protection, plumbing, and sanitary services. Hubert, your ultimate MEPS and air conditioning solutions. Vita Herbs Philippines Green Coffee. Masarap, mabango, at healthy pa. Canrib Corporation, your ventilation and air conditioning specialist. New San Jose Builders Incorporated. Unlad Incorporated International. Fight against global poverty. In participation with Rain or Shine Elastomeric Waterproofing Paint. Color for protection for your home. Matimco. Matimco is wood. Wood is Matimco. R Square Variables Incorporated, your trusted UPS supplier and UPS maintenance provider in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. CompuZell Computer Services, ID card and lanyard manufacturer. Saisho International Trading Corporation. DN Steel. EMAC UPVC Roof Corporation.
Skyway Stages 1 and 2, the elevated toll road system project, run from a section of the South Luzon Expressway from Alabang to Magallanes, Makati. The Skyway Stage 3 is an elevated expressway connecting the South Luzon Expressway through the existing Skyway Stages 1 and 2 to the North Luzon Expressway via Balintawak. Skyway Stage 4 is an 80-kilometer mixed elevated and at-grade toll road that will connect the existing Skyway system starting from the FTI section all the way to Bulacan.
Listo at ganado ang baby ko sa vet-approved NutriChunks with active boost and prebiotics na pampalisto. Made with real meat, with essential nutrients to help them grow healthy and happy. Listo, ganado sa NutriChunks.
Open for Business is back, and with me is the Chief Operating Officer of Haywork, Lizelle Cosgayon. Thank you for joining us today, Miss Lizelle.
Also for inviting us. It's an opportunity to be part of your program.
Our topic today, Lizelle, is very interesting because off-cam we were talking about displaced workers. A lot of the employees, businesses are really affected, but it's the workers, it's the employees who are having this anxiety and sometimes stress because some of them, they wouldn't know if there is still a job that they can go back to after the enhanced community quarantine. As a matter of fact, there would still be quarantines, and it's going to be modified based on the latest news from the government today. But my first question, Ms. Lizelle, is so far, what data do you have on the number of people or employees displaced by the COVID-19 here in the Philippines?
Yes, so we were able to get the data from DOLE last April 12. This was the assumption that we will open our quarantine or lift the quarantine on April 30th. So we don't have yet, we have to get the report for how the effect of the extension of the quarantine will be. So, but as of April 12, we have more than a million displaced employees in the Philippines. So,
wow, that's a lot. That's a million, ano? That's
yes, a million, more than a million.
That data naman comes from the different parts of the Philippines na,
Yes.
from the entire archipelago. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, Metro Manila having the highest with around 246,000, and then Central Luzon with 179, followed by Calabarzon with almost 100, Davao with 90, and then the Cagayan Valley, Central Visayas, Cordillera, Region 10, and Bicol Region.
Lizelle, doon sa data that you have from the DOLE, are there specific industries where it is reported? Because we know, like, for example, that the government is selecting specific industries now na pwede silang bumalik where there is not that much interaction and that we can maintain social distancing. Like, for example, I think construction is one area dahil baka pwede naman hindi magdidikit-dikit yun, magkakalayo lang. But what the specific industries are affected in terms of work displacement?
Well, based from what we got, the most majority of the affected workers include those from the manufacturing sector, hotel, restaurants, and tourism, and even the education sectors.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now being in the HR platform startup business, Lizelle, we also are there's a lot of reaction coming from not only from employers but also employees. So, and being in the HR business, you have, of course, an engagement with the employees, the employers sector. So far, how are they coping with the COVID-19 pandemic?
Well, first yung sa employees, no, a lot has reached out to us, especially the first 2 weeks of the quarantine. People asking or messaging us in our platform if we can give them work from home jobs or part-time jobs. Basically because they need money to come in, no. I'm sure when their offices temporarily closed, that affect their income as well. So, yun yung mga lumalapit sa amin. And then, at the peak of the COVID-19 cases, employers naman, specifically those from the healthcare sectors, hospitals, and those that supply hospital needs, sila naman yung lumapit sa amin na looking for workers.
That is very interesting development, Lizel, kasi di ba, somehow with what's happening, there are areas talaga that still needs a lot of people. One sector, as you mentioned, is the healthcare sector. We know that with the health workers and the frontliners now, they are really the one, we call them our heroes, because they're the ones who are exposed in fighting the global pandemic. So somehow, if there are industries that are adversely affected, meron din namang mga areas or may employers naman and corporations, companies who are somehow benefiting. Not necessarily, I think the term there is not benefiting because they are actually needed, because if they stop their operations, no, we won't get food in our homes. You know, the services are really interrupted. So in your case, based on your discussions with various companies, ano-ano yung mga industries aside from the health sector who are approaching you to provide people, manpower for the requirements?
Well, the retail sector is also asking us their help, especially mga supermarket and groceries, kasi sila talaga yung almost every day pinupuntahan ng tao despite the quarantine, no, to get their essential needs. They, aside from the cashiers and baggers, now we already have demand for shoppers. So meaning they are opening for their doors to deliveries, right? So you just order online and then they'll shop for you. And then some groceries who reached out to us even offered shoppers for mga senior citizens that they need not to fall in line anymore. You just have to write down whatever you need, then they'll go inside the supermarket to shop. And then
sorry to cut you, Lizel, but that's very interesting kasi di ba, like without COVID dati, there are shoppers. But what I know is that they call it mystery shoppers.
Mystery shoppers.
Mystery shopper lang. They go to competing stores, competing brands, or competing establishments to see how their products or how their competing products are faring in terms of competition. But now it has really something that's very, hindi na siya mystery.
No, not anymore.
Mystery
Personal
shopper.
assistant mo na siya, personal shopper na. So mataas yung demand in terms of shoppers.
So in this case, like say for example, when companies approach you now to find people or workers for those, are they very specific still on the requirements, or would they really look at still the background of these people, or they just have to ensure that these people, like say for example the shoppers, they're using the PPEs, they're protected, they're really strictly sanitized. How is the selection? How is the recruitment process in terms of these? Like say, for example, shoppers. Are they still very strict on the requirements, on the background, or medyo it's also eased up to ensure that there's just continuity of getting all these requirements?
Well, in terms of requirements and job experience, no, they have somehow relaxed the requirements in those specific demands. But I think right now, since we're an online platform, no, they shifted na rin all of their efforts in recruitment online. So, aside, ang una-una nila actually tinatanong is, can you look for us in these areas? Kasi they cannot recruit naman outside of the areas kung saan nakalocate yung supermarket, because if the worker lives in another city, it's impossible for them to go and report to work to another city right now. So, ngayon ang concentration is on a per city basis. So, when they ask us for specific job requirements, the first thing they'll tell us is, we have an opening for, say, for example, for Quezon City. Can you look for employees living in Quezon City?
Okay, so mas location-based.
Location-based na.
So now, Lizelle, you mentioned about, of course, that's just one of the new jobs in the new normal. Ano pa yung, based on the demands now of people in this crisis, what other new jobs or new requirements are booming with the crisis?
Well, the BPO is still hiring on a per community, on a per city basis pa rin, no? There's already a demand starting to go up in that sector. And then for the manufacturing of essential goods and of course logistics, delivery, yan yung mga spike in terms of demand.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying, Lizelle, also that it's really the logistics area or requirements that's somehow boosting the job market.
Yes.
Pero what is your outlook, Lizelle, in as far as the future of work is? Like, for example, you mentioned BPOs. The reason why we are really focusing on the BPOs is that they are really our, the BPOs would be at the back end. They are providing us all the necessary requirements to just proceed with our operations without us or without the companies, corporations facing their customers. In terms of BPOs naman, what specific job requirements or job skills are now being asked from you to help?
Yeah, so right now, since there's a shift already, no, from face-to-face recruitment to online recruitment, of course, ang unang-unang hinahanap nila is one must have the necessary tools to be able to apply online, and then to be able to attend the interview online, not just via call, but at least via Zoom or any other video conference platform. Aside from that, some BPO companies would require that they have a PC at home and a good internet connection in order for them to execute work from home.
So I think what is important also with this job market development is the readiness of the applicants or of the workers, of their own tools. Diba? Mm-hmm. They have their own laptops, they have their own smartphones, they have their own maybe if it's something that involves coding, they really have to have or videos, they have to have powerful computers. But in your based on your experience and views, Lizelle, are some or are most of the companies also support work from home initiatives? Because I think that's one of the issues with the BPOs, that they should give time, for their employees to have the equipment right there in their homes. Are BPO companies also doing that now, where the employers would have to provide all the necessary tools and requirements so that the employees will perform their tasks right in their homes?
Well, most of the employers that we've reached out to and are current in our platform, they've made work from home arrangements with their employees naman. And for those that they wanted to hire, they assured us that they can provide the necessary tools if the employee that they wanted to hire doesn't have the necessary tool like laptops to execute the work. But right now, since we're also getting ready for the lifting of the enhanced community quarantine with the modified community quarantine, we're working with these BPOs to have a decentralized type of work arrangement. Meaning, if an employee is living in Antipolo and has to report in Eastwood, in a BPO company in Eastwood, then we're working with cyber cafes within the area of Antipolo where most of their workers are living or are residing, so that they can still execute their work. No need for these BPO companies to actually send laptops or desktops and internet tools or even pay for the subscription of the internet.
So that's a good initiative again. So kasi ang mangyayari dyan, kumbaga, like say for example, if they cannot really pull out, all this equipment to their homes, at least there is an arrangement where they can choose, like say, and it's good for the, let's say, example, you mentioned an internet cafe. It's good for the internet cafe because somehow, those units in the internet cafes will be utilized. So, how is this process conducted? Is it a partnership between the BPO company, for example, and internet cafes, and you facilitate the arrangement between these? So, lumalabas ngayon, Lizelle, it's actually using also the resources of other companies, which is ideal, especially because marami din nanonood sa atin na small and medium enterprises, MSMEs. And sila, limbawa, if you're an operator of an internet cafe, you have a small unit, for example, you have about 5 or 10 computer sets. But assuming there is a heavy demand, for these BPO companies, especially as you mentioned, tama ka eh, parang they don't have to go further away from their areas, but at least there is a place nearby where they can continue their work. My question is this the kind of trend that you are seeing? Because we know that, di ba, hindi naman in a flick of a finger, everything gets back to normal. As a matter of fact, they say there is no normal already. A lot of people are resetting. So, as that initiative, yun ba yung nakikita mo yung magtutuloy-tuloy na as we go towards the modified quarantine?
Well, with the new norm na tinatawag natin, no, yes, it's true that there's no going back to the previous normal. So with the new norm, we see that there's already a decentralization of industries in terms of where people had to report to work to. I'm sure that once the enhanced community quarantine gets lifted and replaced with a modified community quarantine, there will still be a lot of issues in terms of transpo. Mahihirapan pa rin yung mga tao to, go from one place to another because of the social distancing measures that, the transport industry has to implement, right? And at the same time, inside the offices, is the office itself ready for you to implement those social distancing measures that the government is requiring us to do so? So, itong help by activating the cyber cafes, no, we have more than 1,000 partner cyber cafes that our other business unit is partnered with. This is one help for them to bounce back in the business after getting after closing shop for some time due to the community quarantine, ano. And this one is also a help to the BPO industries. And because, yun nga, by putting them in areas kung saan mas maraming employees ka naka-reside, yung productivity mo tumataas. Pag yung mawawalan yung reason na they cannot report to work kasi mahirap sumakay or malayo yung pinapasukan ko na trabaho, that answers those questions. And for the employees ultimately to continuously put food on their table now that things are when things get eased up, they can start gain back their work and try to make a living for their family. So that I think is the direction now that we're seeing. Aside from people getting used to work from home or people meeting other or doing business via Zoom or any other platform, very normal na lang siya ngayon, no? But this one, the decentralization of work industries will be the next direction.
And that's a very, very good initiative, Lizelle, kasi alam naman natin, cyber cafes, a lot of them all belong to the SME sector.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, after being locked down for several weeks, they will be the primary facilities, to do this work from home, or let's say work from cyber cafes. I was also amazed with the network you have developed now, and I hope it will continue to grow, because you said you have a network of about 1,000 cyber cafes. What is your plan? Are you planning to really grow it pa, or are you is there a system that you are providing to the cyber cafes, and how will this be institutionalized so that maybe not only BPOs will do this, diba?
Yes.
But also other companies who are in need of back-end support through the cyber can do that. But before you respond, Lizelle, Open for Business will be back. Let's pause for these reminders. Open for Business is back, and with me is Miss Lizelle, the COO of Haywork. Lizelle, we talked about your initiative dealing with cyber cafes in different parts of Metro Manila, or maybe in other areas as well. Is this the plan that you would want to really initiate and expand in the future?
Yes, it is something that we want to add in our portfolio of services for companies, not only BPOs, but those companies that would require people to report or work remotely. So what we do is we have a system in place for all the cyber cafes, and we ask them to join our platform We somehow professionalize the smaller cyber cafes because for them to be ready sa ganitong klase ng service, because we have to check whether the system requirements, the hardware requirements are in place for them to accommodate this kind of new setup. Because, you know, cyber cafes are known to be a place of gamers lang, no? Or students finishing up their reports or need for printing their reports. But now, with what happened post COVID-19, this is, I think, will be part of the new norm, that you can still work within or near your area where you reside remotely, and at the same time, employers can monitor them properly, because we can have time in, time out recording of their work, and productivity is well recorded in those areas.
Another insight, Lisa, that you mentioned a while ago was the decentralization of work. So, to me, that is something that is good for the LGUs. Talagang uh, lahat ng areas ngayon, like say for example, who don't have that much concentration, like say for example, BPOs in their areas, would now really produce income for their respective areas. So somehow that is one of the positive insights that is brought about, by this crisis. That all the areas in the country will now have to generate their income because of the demand of BPOs and other companies. Now, my question, Lizelle, is that you being in the HR recruitment business, how do you see the implementation of this kind of decentralization? Kasi, di ba, when you say decentralization, there might also be an impact on the corporate headquarters. Kasi what will happen to the corporate headquarters? Kasi all their equipment will be there. But now with the decentralization, that would also mean additional expenses for them. But in your view, is it going to be cheaper for them? Is it going to be more cost effective for them? But it is very clear, Lizelle, that this will help the workers, because as you mentioned, for a worker, like say for example, a BPO employee, bago makarating sa Pasig o kaya sa BGC, sasakay ng jeep, sasakay ng MRT, and I see a post, like say for example, in Baguio, naglagay na talaga siya ng mga plastic na partitions, to make sure na kung sumakay ng jeep, may social distancing. But in our case, like for example in Metro Manila, 'di ba, doon pa lang sa MRT ang haba-haba na ng pila, and if you do the social distancing there, ay saan naaabot ang pila? So how do you the question is, how do you see the implementation of this decentralization, and are you looking at companies really trying to reinvent or revise their work processes so that this will be institutionalized in their work systems?
Yeah, so right now we're really studying which industries can adapt to this kind of decentralization of work setup. No, not all, like healthcare industries cannot. No, hindi naman pwedeng magtrabaho siya sa loob ng bahay niya, no, dadalhin niya yung pasyente. But we started out with the BPOs kasi sila talaga yung may marami. And if you've heard of those employees from the BPOs nung nangyari yung community quarantine, some needed to be housed in a hotel, or the companies need to transport them, provide for the transport. Very costly yun. And then that bringing of computers and providing for the internet subscription of each employee is operationally expensive, no? In terms of, yeah, so ang tumaas, yes, productivity continues, work continues for them, but their OPEX has been severely affected. So with what we offer is actually something that can cut on the cost on their OPEX, and at the same time ease up the burden on the part of the employee, because yun nga, when the quarantine gets lifted at babalik uli sila sa daily commute nila, kung dati 4 hours ang binubuno niya sa traffic or sa biyahe, baka ngayon last 2-3 hours pa, so nothing left for the worker to rest or to be to spend quality time with their families anymore. So ito yung mga industries na tinitingnan namin. And then next would be office-based workers that needs to report back to their offices but have tried working from home during the past few weeks already, na pwede nilang sabihin na, oh, pwede pala, we can do not work from home but work remotely in an area. Now, wala nang lusot in terms of their technical needs, like computers are there. You have a good setup of office because of the cyber cafes. It's air conditioned, it's comfortable. They have comfortable seats. They have fast internet access. So really, it's already the thing na everything is provided for by the employers already. It's tao na lang yung kailangan mag-execute.
Now, speaking of tao na lang ang kailangan. So,
yes,
ang dami talaga ngayon naghahanap ng work. Kasi, as we mentioned earlier, di ba, people who have jobs are already worried. Is there a job for me when I get back to the office? Or, some of the questions also would be, is my job still relevant? Kasi di ba somehow with the COVID crisis, we have seen that there are some sort of a redirection of the workplace, and also there are new jobs, like say for example yung dating mystery shopper na sabi mo is no longer exposed shopper na siya. But now the question is, ano-ano yung mga jobs ngayon na kailangan? Of course, let's start first with the health workers and frontliners, kasi and I think the reason why we were able to find you is because of course, Open for Businesses support to bounce back PH. We said we are open to really providing this opportunity to help entrepreneurs. In this case, what interested me really was the fact that your company, your initiative is finding, of course, people to be our frontliners, health workers. So what are these new jobs are in demand at this time?
So sa healthcare industry, there are not only nurses, but nursing aides. Recently, there's about 14,000, if I'm not mistaken, 16,000 OFWs who got repatriated. And based from OWA, most of them are former domestic helpers and caregivers. But here in the Philippines, we need a lot of them in the healthcare industry as nursing aides. So that one is an opportunity already in the industry of healthcare. So hindi na lang tayo limited sa registered nurses, but also kinakailangan na rin natin ng mga caregivers, because any help that the hospital can get, even inside the back office of the hospitals, they're also needed as a support, admin support, admitting, billing and finance, offices, customer care. Those are the industries that are needed right now. And then Aside from that, the manufacturing has started their demand already for, especially for the essential needs, no, mga basic commodities. Dahil continuous yung kanilang production to keep up with the demand. They also need workers to supplement the demand. Then the logistics, customer service, attending to the customer inquiries of online buying sites. Those are right now are the in demand. So really right now it's you as an employee or as a worker or an applicant, you have to also look back. Am I relevant now in this in the industry or in the situation that I am in right now? I'm sure that we are. Each and every person is relevant right now. It's just that you need to acquire those skill sets to be able to be matched to the kind of jobs that are currently in demand right now.
Okay, you mentioned Diesel keyword which is skill set. O, sige, gusto mo ngayong gusto mo you wanted to really take part in this new normal. So as an individual, he was looking for work. What should be the skill sets that you should have right now? Of course, as you mentioned, nabanggit mo na kanina, hindi naman kailangan na maging nurse ka to go into the healthcare business. As a matter of fact, ngayon, and it's a very noble job now because even the patients, di ba? Kaya nga kung may konting sakit ka lang ngayon, you don't even want to go to the hospital or the clinic because you don't know, if the virus is there and baka wala ka naman talagang symptoms, but you are now afraid to go there. But for the health workers, for the frontliners, lumalabas whether they like it or not, it is their job to go. So, ngayon, it's, I think the skill set there is, for you, not necessarily a skill set, but it's more of the soft skill na kailangan may malasakit ka, kailangan mahal mo, may matindi ang pag-ibig mo sa kapwa, and that's it. That will do because you wanted to do some volunteer work and help people to really be cured from their sickness. So that is one of the skills, be it hard skill or soft skill. But in terms of what you have observed in the job market, ano yung dapat na maging skill set ng applicants or job finders nowadays?
Sa ngayon talaga, it's the willingness to work. Even before the COVID-19 happened, is marami talagang available jobs. No? But nasa sa tao talaga if they're not willing to work or they're not willing to try new things. Like, for example, when we attend mga job fairs sa mga universities, they always want na aligned sa tinapos nila or na pag-aralan nila, even though ang daming work available for them to try out. So, it's not always na pag ito yung natapos mo, yun yung makukuha mong trabaho, hindi ba? At the end of the day, it's your willingness to try and learn new things and to adapt to it that you need to acquire right now. Aside from you mentioned na kailangan may malasakit ka because of what's happening right now. Yeah, compassion and your willingness to do work is very important these days.
Yeah, but I asked that, Lizelle, because the ones who are in the areas of technology, like say for example in e-commerce, are also the people who are needed most. Like for example, your tech startup, and in that category, with you, like say as a technopreneur, for them to find you and join you, what specific skill sets in terms of tech training will have are you looking at? And right now, a lot of I know we notice that, like say for example, with Bounce Back Philippines, there's a lot of tools now, you know, from e-commerce to setting up your online business empire, to setting up your own webinars, promoting your businesses via various online platforms. So, what are these special skill sets aside from the soft skills that are needed? In your case, for example, as a technopreneur, I'm sure you have a team now, you know, of people who are engaged heavily via the internet.
Yes.
I think that's one of the, ano, diba? That's one of the, uh, we never realized, for example, in the online business, we know that, you know, e-payments would come and people will trust uh, the e-payments before. We know that that's going to be the trend. Online commerce will be the trend, but we never realized that it will happen now. So, in your on your perspective as a technopreneur, what are these skill sets that you are looking for?
What's for us, no, you just have to be tech savvy these days, because there's a lot of tools available online that enables you to execute your work. No, there are work from home. You can do online jobs. You just have to be tech savvy. Tech savvy doesn't only mean that you're heavily active on social media. Well, it helps din naman, no, right now, because all of the people are engaged online. So all of us, like technopreneurs like us, take the opportunity to communicate to our people via Facebook or in social media or in platforms where they are heavily spending their hours now. No? So really those workers or job applicants needs to be tech savvy. They need to learn what tools are there available online that they can use to to apply. Some people are still used to applying na knocking at the doors of the companies and submitting their resumes or biodata. It's not anymore. It's not going to be part of the new norm anymore, because you have to use the internet to apply. Dahil nga, unang-una, because of the social distancing measures, people don't want you, or companies don't want you to be knocking at their doors. Hindi ka papapasukin ngayon to apply. You have to embrace technology. No, right now there's a lot of free webinars that they can attend to, seminars online, to be to sharpen their knowledge in the use of technology, not only in doing their work or making things convenient for them. I mean, ngayon kasi before we when we were starting up here in the Philippines, we noticed that people are all heavy on Facebook. No? But when we ask them to download the app to apply, we always get to say the comment na, hindi namin alam mag-download ng app, or they don't know what an app means. So, ngayon, everyone has to ride into that kind of trend. Otherwise, mapag-iwanan ka. No? Hindi na posible. Lahat ay posible online. You can do business online. I've seen a lot of people selling mga baked items or cooked items from home, and they started selling it on social media. Then they got a lot of customers. So those, I think, are the things that they need to, acquire in terms of skill set.
Wow, that's very very insightful, Lizelle. That's really something. Now we're running out of time. I have a few more questions here. It's good that you mentioned that people really have to, even in recruitment, they have, even in applications, they have to really do it online because that's going to be the trend. In your case, how will they find you? Limbawa, sabihin niya, "Oh, sige, shopper ako. I wanted to have to apply as a shopper. What will I do? How will they find you? How are there initiatives na all they have to do is type their name and then they can be scheduled for an online interview like this already?
Yeah, so we have a website that they can go to. So they can go to they can log onto their website. They can start creating their profile, and then we also conduct online forums wherein I'm a new person applying online. Totally wala akong alam. So they can attend those sessions that even tuturuan namin sila how to create a nice profile or a nice resume online. And then we also offer free sessions on how to prepare for your online job interview because right now, wala nang job fair. At I don't think job fairs will happen in the next 2 to 3 months because of what happened. So talagang you have to create or you have to present yourself well online in the online space. So those are the things that we're doing right now. We have a Facebook community as well where they can join. We have around close to 300,000 members, and we post our job openings there. They can start uh, filling up online forms and then apply there.
Now, Lizelle, also as a technopreneur, in your case, I think based on my observation of our interview, somehow your startup is one of the industries where there is an increased demand because people would want to go back to work. So, what with your startup? What are the benefits for both employers finding people for their recruitment needs and for the job applicants? Can you somehow give me the benefits if for both employers and would-be or successful applicants?
First, for the employers, no, when this quarantine started, we started reaching out to healthcare industries already. We offered them free subscription to our platform, wherein we will post all of their available jobs for free into our platform. And then the next industry that we tapped are the other essential industries like the retail, the supermarkets. This is to actually encourage employers to hire, and there's a way to hire without the need for them to see the applicants face to face. We can do it. We've started shifting them from face to face to online interviews and full online recruitment. So from end to end, we assist them. So those are, I think, our advantage over the others in terms of the kind of service that we offer. We are somehow, we say, as not only as their platform but as their full partner in the recruitment, knowing that most of their employees are working from home. These employers hiring right now are working from home. So we do the recruitment for them end to end. For the employees naman, would-be employees or job applicants, we started reaching out to universities that have graduates this year, which unfortunately hindi natuloy ang kanilang graduation, but I'm sure they graduated. We sent out all our job vacancies to them so that we also encourage them to attend our free sessions to onboard these students of theirs, their graduates. And then we also started reaching out to like the displaced OFWs through the Blas Ople Center. We started reaching out to them, and then most of them who are not used to using the internet in applying or wanting job immediately, we try to help profile these employees, the displaced employees, and then we try to find immediately which industry they can fit into.
So it's good for both employers and also the would-be employees. And what's more interesting is that you said you have opened this up to OFWs, and siguro lalo na yung mga OFWs na nagtatrabaho sa ibang bansa, lalo na sa US, like sa Europe, because they're really so much affected by the COVID-19 pandemic as well. So at least what you're saying now, Lizelle, is that there's an opportunity, for them to find jobs via online. Now, before I let you go, Lizelle, I think there's a lot of discussions pa sana. It's getting more exciting, but we lack time. There are a lot of small business owners as well who, like you and like us, would want to give this kind of information to help them bounce back. So, what is your message and your tips for small businesses to bounce back, for them to bounce back in this COVID-19 crisis?
Yeah, for small businesses like us, tech startups, it's very important that we ride the wave of change these days. Hindi na natin may babalik. It will never go back to normal, and we have to embrace that fact and the reality. We just have to keep on looking for the opportunities. When this kind of things happen, pandemic, there's always an opportunity opening up for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And for us, for a tech startup like us, we thought that it will be very hard for us to shift because we're used to putting up big events, job fairs, mga LGUs sa communities or sa schools, universities. Then suddenly, bawal na. We thought at first that it's going to be hard for us. But, when we started to embrace change and take advantage of what's here right now, which is technology, things are, perspective have changed as well. And looking at the essentials, particularly, ano ba yung need ngayon that we need to attend to, I think that one helps a lot in terms of bouncing back again after this thing, the COVID-19 thing. We will always bounce back given that we have the right tools already. It's just that we need to look further. Ano pa yung opportunity na nakikita natin.
Wow, that was well said, Lizelle, and I hope we have more time to discuss all these initiatives. Before I let you go, you can mention your website. Where can they find you?
Yes, so for applicants who wanted or interested to apply, napakarami po naming job openings right now, in different areas in industries. So they can go to our website. It's www.findwork.net.ph. They can also go to our social media accounts, Jobs Philippines and Hey Work Philippines. So doon po marami kaming pinupost na job vacancies. They can message us anytime they want, or if they need help into creating their profile. We will be scheduling an online job fair very, very soon. So we hope that a lot of people out there who are kinakabahan whether there's a job, marami pong trabaho na nag-aantay for all of us. And we will bounce back, definitely.
Thank you very much, Miss Lizelle. That really gives hope to us, to a lot of Filipinos, to a lot of displaced workers. That's Miss Lizel Cosgayon, the Chief Operating Officer of Hayward. Thank you very much, Lizel. Open for Business will be back. Stay with us.
Magtatagumpay tayo, salamat. Kung mag-fail tayo, salamat. Ang importante po, sinubukan natin, ginawa natin yung makakaya natin.
Napatunayan ko na yung talent na binigay sa akin ng Diyos, mas may expose pa. Kaya sa mga ibang artist dyan, lalo na sa mga may kapansanan din, mag-explore pa tayo ng ibang bagay tulad nito. Huwag tayong magtago, huwag tayong mahihiya. Gawin natin kung ano yung gusto talaga nating gawin.
This program is presented by SMC Infrastructure, building a better world. Vet-approved NutriChunks, the only premium dog food with active boost for optimum energy and prebiotics that help strengthen immunity. Just like Catherine Bernardo, gawing listo ganado ang fur babies nyo. Listo ganado sa NutriChunks. Co-presented by Kubert, expert in air conditioning and electromechanical. Also engaged in structural, electrical, fire protection, plumbing, and sanitary services. Kubert, your ultimate MEPS and air conditioning solutions. Vita Herbs Philippines Green Coffee. Masarap, mabango, at healthy pa. Canrib Corporation, your ventilation and air conditioning specialist. New San Jose Builders Incorporated. Unlad Incorporated International. Fight against global poverty. In participation with Rain or Shine Elastomeric Waterproofing Paint. Color for protection for your home. Matimco. Matimco is wood. Wood is Matimco. R Square Variables Incorporated, your trusted UPS supplier and UPS maintenance provider in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. CompuZell Computer Services, ID card and lanyard manufacturer. Saisho International Trading Corporation. DN Steel. EMAT UPVC Roof Corporation.
The South Luzon Expressway, a 36-kilometer long road that runs from Alabang to Santo Tomas, Batangas, connects several commercial and residential areas in the Greater Manila and the provinces of Laguna, Cavite, and Batangas. This will soon be extended all the way to the province of Quezon.
Listo at ganado ang baby ko sa vet-approved NutriChunks with active boost and prebiotics na pampalisto. Made with real meat, with essential nutrients to help them grow healthy and happy. Listo, ganado sa NutriChunks.
Open for Business is back, and our term of the week is from Investopedia.com. Our term of the week is turnaround. When a company that has experienced a period of poor performance moves into a period of financial recovery, it is called a turnaround. A turnaround may also refer to the recovery of a nation or region's economy after a period of recession or stagnation. Similarly, it can refer to the recovery of an individual whose personal financial situation improves after some time. Turnarounds are important because they mark an upward shift or improvement for an entity after it experiences a significant period of negativity. The turnaround is akin to a restructuring process where the entity converts the period of loss into one of profitability and success while stabilizing its future. And our word of the week is from Mary Holloway. She said, resilience is knowing that you are the only one that has the power and the responsibility to pick yourself up. Thank you for watching Open for Business Home Edition. Join us again in the next episodes of Open for Business for more insights from CEOs, thought leaders, and industry experts promoting business development in the Philippines. See you again every Saturday and Sunday here in Open for Business Home Edition, where we discuss the business information, deliver the latest business news to keep you informed and open for business and be ahead of the curve from vision to action. You're on Facebook Live on Eagle News, and you can watch us again in the video section of the Eagle News Facebook page and on eaglenewslive.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Eagle News. We're open for business. This is Cesar Vallejos, and you can also donate to our hashtag Enjoy Music Beyond the Crisis online concert. Just go to pymy.co/EBC and watch a concert on May 3, 10, and 17, 9 to 11 on Net 25, 95.5 Pinas FM, and in all EBC social media channels. Donate to pymy.co/EBC. This is Cesar Vallejos. We live in interesting times.